सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिनि व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। प्रज्ञानां सुप्रतानैः स्थिरतरनिकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् सविस्थान् पुनरपि कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरवुं मायया भोजयन्नः माया संख्या तुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तत्नतोऽस्मि। यो विश्वात्मा विधिज विषयान् प्रास्य भोगान् तवेस्थान् पश्चाचान्यान् सुमति विभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वान् एतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पातु सो नस्तुरीयः पातु सो नस्तुरीयः।
ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः।
ओम इति एतत् अक्षरम् इदं सर्वं तस्य उपवाख्यानं भूतं भवत् भविष्यत् इति सर्वम् ओंकार एव यत् च अन्यत् त्रिकालातीतं तत् अपि ओंकार एव। सर्वं हि एतत् ब्रह्म अयम् आत्मा ब्रह्म सह अयम् आत्मा चतुष्पात्।
Very good. Very nice.
जागरितस्थानो बहिष्प्रज्ञः सप्तांगः एकोनविंशतिमुखः स्थूलभुक् वैश्वानरः प्रथमपादः स्वप्नस्थानोऽन्धप्रज्ञः सप्तांगः एकोनविंशतिमुखः प्रविविक्तभुक् तैजसः द्वितीयः पादः।
यत्र सुप्तः न कंचन कामं कामयते न कंचन स्वप्नं पश्यति तत् सुषुप्तस्थानः एकीभूतः प्रज्ञानघनः एव आनन्दमयः हि आनन्दभुक् चेतोमुखः प्राज्ञः तृतीयपादः। एषः सर्वेश्वरः एषः सर्वज्ञः एषः अन्तर्यामी एषः योनिः सर्वस्य प्रभवाप्ययौ हि भूतानाम्
बहिष्प्रज्ञो विभुर्विश्वः यन्तः प्रज्ञस्तु तैजसः घनः प्रज्ञस्तथा प्राज्ञः एक एव त्रिधा स्मृतः दक्षिणाक्षिमुखे विश्वः मनस्यन्तस्तु तैजसः आकाशे च हृदि प्राज्ञः त्रिधा देहे व्यवस्थितः
विश्वो हि स्थूलभुक् नित्यं तैजसः प्रविविक्तभुक् आनन्दभुक् तथा प्राज्ञः त्रिधा भोगं निबोधत स्थूलं तर्पयते विश्वं प्रविविक्तं तु तैजसम् आनन्दस्तथा प्राज्ञं त्रिधा तृप्तिं निबोधत
त्रिषु धामसु यद्भोज्यं भोक्ता यश्च प्रकीर्तितः वेद एतद् उभयं यस्तु स भुञ्जानो न लिप्यते। प्रभवः सर्वभावानां सतामिति विनिश्चयः सर्वं जनयति प्राणः चेतोंशून् पुरुषः पृथक्
विभूतिं प्रसवं त्वन्ये मन्यन्ते सृष्टिचिन्तकाः स्वप्नमायासरूपेति सृष्टिरन्यैर्विकल्पिता इच्छा मात्रं प्रभो सृष्टिः इति सृष्टौ विनिश्चिताः कालात् प्रसूतिं भूतानां मन्यन्ते कालचिन्तकाः भोगार्थं सृष्टिरित्यन्ये क्रीडार्थम् इति चापरे देवस्यैष स्वभावोऽयम् आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा।
That's all, isn't it? It's complete. Okay. The argument of the Purvapakshi is just like how you are telling the Vishwa, Taijas, their Bevicharati. They go on changing. One time one way, other time another way. That means none of those characteristics are real. If one thing is appearing in one way at one time and in a different way in a different time, then it is neither how it is appearing the first time nor it is appearing how it is appearing in the second time. It cannot be, because a thing which is really of one type, it will remain one type all the time. Sugar cannot be salty at one time and sweet another time. No, sugar is sweet all the time. That's why one can rely upon that sugar. When we are making payasam, we not put the salt. We can rely on that. Surely it will be tasty. Suppose it changes when you put in the payasam, it becomes like salty. Then I don't know, sweet will not be there in the world at all. Because I don't know. That's called bevichar. Bevichar is a very strong word. Bevichar, like how somebody does adultery, it is like adultery. These Vishwa, Tejas and all, they go on changing. Then somebody says, no, this Pragya is also changing. Pragya is also changing. He's telling Pragya is changing. Then, no, not Pragya. Susupti. Not Susupti, what is that? Turiya. Turiya is also changing. Bevicharati, he's telling. Turiya is also changing. And when it is changing, he is telling it is changing in the sleep state. You are telling Vishwatejas and Pragyan, they are Vyabhicharati, but no, this the Turiya, yes, I can accept that it is there in the waking state and the dream state, but in the deep sleep state, it just disappears. It is not there. That means it is Vyabhicharati. If it is not there in the deep sleep state, it is not there anytime. He is using the same logic what the Vedanti Siddhanti is telling. He is using the same logic to prove that the Turiya is a non-existent thing. So there is no need of discussing regarding Turiya. Turiya is not a positive thing. It may be described, neti neti, but itself is not a negative thing. It is not a absence thing. It is present all the time. But for what is asked here, let us say, susuptehe vyabhicharati iti. In the deep sleep, susuptehe means of the person who has gone to sleep is called susuptehe. That means of the deep sleeper. When we come to the deep sleep state of the deep sleeper, at that time this Turiya is changing, consciousness is changing at that time. If Bhavan Shankaracharya is telling, if you are thinking so, Chetana, that is not true. Now what he is going to tell, very interesting. Last time we have seen, Susuptasya Anubhuya Manatvat. The Susupti is also experienced. If it is experienced, how can it tell it is not there? No experience is possible without consciousness. Susupti is also an experience. Experience of what? Absence of everything. Absence of the particularity. That is the deep sleep state. And there is no knowledge of things in the deep sleep state. Susuptasya anubhuya manatvat. That means there is anubhuyamana means it is the experience of the susupta in the deep sleep state is very much there. And when we know that, when we wake up. And one thing we have to keep in mind, in the waking state we have the experience. In the deep sleep state also we have the experience. In the dream state also we have the experience. But one big thing that is happening, that when shifted from the waking state to the dream state, at that time, who was the waker? Same entity is the dreamer now. Not that waker was a different, waker was one person entity and the dreamer is another entity. No. Why we cannot tell that waker and dreamer, they are two different entities? Why we cannot tell? Because dreamer is dreaming, waker is awake. Waker knows the gross objects, dreamer knows the pravivikta, subtle objects. Why they cannot be different? If somebody asks, what will your answer? What will your answer? Our answer will be that if there are three different entities, then there will be no continuity of experiences. There will be no continuity of memory. In the waking state, whatever we experienced, the memory of that doesn't go away when we are in the dream state. It is still there. Suppose we ate the rasgulla in the waking state and then went to sleep and we are dreaming. What we are dreaming? I didn't eat the rasgulla. And when I'll wake up, I will not tell that, I didn't eat rasgulla. I have eaten before. So memory is there. Otherwise, none of us will go to sleep. If you when you go to sleep or you go to dream, if the waking state experiences, there's the disappear. I will not recognize who is my dad, who is my mom, who is my beta, who is my betty, who is my home. It will be a big disaster, it will be. Everything is remaining. See how God has made dream and there is full freedom in going through the dream state. Full freedom is there. And there is full freedom in going through the waking state, different kind of experiences. But the memory of the waking state experiences, with memory of the dream state experiences, and memory of the deep sleep experiences are always available. I can tell even after 2 days what happened that day, what I ate. I can tell that. In the dream, what did you see? I do know. I saw a tiger came and jumped at me. I can tell all those things. That means somewhere the experiences of the waking state, dream state, and the deep sleep, they are being carried by one entity. Otherwise, there will be no continuity of memory. The waker will have waking experiences, then it died. Then the experiences of the waking state will not be transferable, will not go with us when we are in the dream state. No, it is there with us. And when we see that, when we come out of the dream, we'll see that it is there. Whatever experience, whatever things I have experienced before going to the dream state, it is there. Is it going okay, or is it too much? Gopal Krishnanji? Okay. Okay. It is very simple. It is the continuity of memory tells that the same entity who was the waker is the same entity who is the dreamer now, is the same entity who is the deep sleeper and who will be awake later. Same entity.
The actor remains same, Swamiji, right? The actor remains same. The me remains same throughout both.
Yes,
both
yes, that is the thing. Yes. And how will know that? It is because of the continuity of memory. If there are two different entities in the waking state, the entity who is experiencing, if it is different than the experiencer in the waking state or the dream state, then there will be no continuation of memory, will not be there. Memory of the waking state, dream state, and deep sleep are very much alive with us. That means we are the same entity who went through the three stages.
Just a roles change, and actor remains the same.
That yes, the entity is the same. Is
Same.
not yes. Only the role changed, but the real person is the same.
So Swamiji, the question is that why can't it coexist, right? Why can't the waker and the dreamer coexist? Is a question. Wasn't the question?
The question is that how can we tell that the waker is different from the dreamer, the dreamer is different from the waker, and deep sleeper is different from the dreamer, and each one is different from the other one? How can we tell that? They're different from each other. How can you tell that there is one entity who is common in all the three states? How can you tell that? It is because of the continuity of memory. Yesterday I went to, let us say, picnic. Today I did meditation. The entity, the person who was doing the meditation is the same person today. That's why, and how it happened? Because the memory, continuity of the memory. Yesterday what happened and today what happened, they are same person is knowing both. So there's one entity. I think it is clear now.
Yeah.
Okay. Then nahi vigyato vigyate viparilopa vidyate. Vigyato means of the knower. Vigyate, the act of knowing. For the knower, the act of knowing is never absent. Knower will not that one time knower will know, and another time will tell them I don't know. It cannot be. Knower will always know. If knower, like the fake knower, who will tell her, do you know him? Yes. After some days, do you know him? I don't know. He can tell. That is not the real knower. Real knower is this one, this Turiya. It everything it knows. That means in presence of it, everything is known. Vigyathu vigyate Viparilopaha na vidyate. That means for the knower, the process of knowing is never absent. It never stalls. Always it will go on knowing because it is a knower. It's a real knower. It will go on knowing, and that is told in the in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Vigyanta Viparilopa, that no change happens to the knower so far as the process of knowing is concerned. The knower remains all the time same. What the knower is knowing may be different things, but the knower is the same. Then Bhavan Sankaracharya is continuing. Last time we have seen this one. Ata eva adrustam, because that is the next thing. It is adrustam. This Turiya is not seen. This Turiya is not seen. It is not seen by what? It is not seen by the organs of perception. Since the Turiya is not the Vishwa, is not the Tajasa, is not the Pragya, nor their experiences, not the objects of experiences, and those things are, we already have seen that they are anitya, they don't exist. Since they don't, the Vishwa, Tajasa, Pragya, and their waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, and then waking state objects, dream state objects, deep sleep state objects, they are not seen. They are not perceived. When it comes to Turiya, when we are discussing regarding Turiya, those things are really don't exist. They are anitya. These things are anitya. Atayeva adrustam. Here, atayeva adrustam means it is not seen. That doesn't mean it is not there. Turiya is not there. What does it mean? It cannot be perceived through the
sense organs.
That is the meaning of adrustam. Adrustam don't tell the meaning that it cannot be seen. No, it cannot be seen through the sense organs. Yasmad adrustam, since it cannot be perceived through the senses, then it is tasmat avyavaharyam. It cannot be transacted with. We cannot transact with Turiya. We can transact with the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, waking state object, dream state objects, but we cannot deal with the Turiya. Because why we can only deal with sthula object, then subtle objects, then ananda. We can deal with them. These three we can deal, but we cannot deal which is not an object, which is not a gross object, which is not subtle object, which is not causal object. We cannot deal. So avyavaharyam. Since it is avyavaharyam, it is agrahyam karmendriyahi. Agrahyam, that what is there? Agrahyam means it cannot be hold. Agrahyam. Like suppose somebody is giving an apple to you, you can hold that one. But this Turiya, I cannot tell that, no. Guru cannot tell that here is the Turiya, you hold on to this Turiya. No. Nobody can grasp it. Nobody can grasp it. Agrahyam. Agrahyam what? Karmendriyahi. That means it is not an object of the karmendriyas. In the first word it was told atayeva adrustam. That means it is not an object of the organs of perception. When it is told agrahyam, it is not the object of organs of action.
Swamiji, what about object of mind, intellect? That is also included in the adrustam? Sense organs?
Adrustam is only, he's telling the senses.
Senses only, okay.
The senses. Other things will come, everything will come.
Okay.
So why it is adrustam, that we saw. Why it is adrustam? Because it's not an object. Turiya is not an object, that's why it cannot be seen through the senses. Since it cannot be seen through the senses, since it is adrustam, it is avyavaharyam. Because those things which can be perceived through the senses, we can transact with them. If you cannot see something, if you cannot touch something, we cannot smell something, we cannot taste something, then we cannot transact. For transaction, we need the senses. This should be an object of the senses. Then only you can transact. Grahyam karmendriyahi. We cannot hold them to the organs of action. We cannot work with them with the organs of action. Why we cannot work? Because it's avyavaharyam. Since it is avyavaharyam, how can you transact? And why it is avyavaharyam? Because it is adrashtam. The previous one tells the next one. Alakshanam. Alakshanam means it doesn't have the turiya, doesn't have the characteristics. Alakshanam. Then alakshanam means alingam. That means it is not an indicator. It cannot indicate. It cannot indicate anything. Like how the smoke is the indicator of the fire. It is the linga. The smoke is the linga for the fire. The Shiva linga is the linga for the Lord Shiva. And the story is there. Previously, the Shiva linga was not worshipped. When the Shiva linga worship started, there is a story there. Why Shiva, one is in his true nature, was being meditated upon. But one day it happened, this Brahmaji and Vishnu Bhagavan. Brahmaji was telling that I am the creator, so I am the greatest. I do create everything. Vishnu Bhagavan tells that, you create and all the problem you create, but who maintains? I maintain it. So I am greater than you. In this way, they are fighting with each other, like at home. Who maintains the home? The mother. The mother tells, okay, so much work is going on. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't know even how to boil the potato. But who is doing how the work is going on? Children are 2, 3 children, they are studying and the first class gold medal is everywhere. And there is vegetables are growing, flowers are there, and the house is decorated. Somebody is doing. It is me doing. Somebody is doing. Otherwise, it will not come.
Swamiji, neti, isn't that an indication?
Neti is not it is a way of indicating through negation. Yes. Yeah.
So then it cannot be, then it says it's alingam. How is that possible?
When you tell it is alingam, that means it doesn't have a characteristics. Like, for example, characteristics of fire is hot. Okay. If there is anything hot anywhere, then we will tell them the fire is there. It is this neti is not like a characteristic like that. It is not a characteristic. It is just a way of telling. Because we cannot describe it, that's why we are telling neti, not this, not this, not that. Is not a characteristic. Okay. Characteristics like how we are telling. If we are telling what is laddu, laddu is not sour. Laddu is not bitter. Laddu is not. That is not an indicator. Okay, that's not an indicator. When you told, laddu is sweet. Whatever is sweet is always sugar. So sweetness is the indicator of the sugar.
So it has to be positive. It has to be not a negative.
Positive means what it is. Positive, not there no positive, negative. What it is, it has to be associated with something. Whatever we are indicating with, it has to have a direct connection with what we are trying to indicate. Fire is hot. If the one time it is becoming cold, then we cannot indicate the fire with hotness. Whatever is hot, there must be fire. We cannot tell that. Since it is hot, there must be fire.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where we have alakshanam, alingam. Alingam iti etad anumeyam ityartha. Anumeyam means it cannot be inferred, because for inference, some characteristics has to be there to infer. if no characteristics, no inference is possible. But like last time I had told that how through the creation one can infer the presence of the God, isn't it? But one cannot infer the presence of the self. One cannot. When where inference word will be used? By seeing the creation, surely we will tell that there is a creator. That is called inference. From the creation, we come to know regarding a creator. Like we are born. Our parents we have seen. Maybe grandparents we have seen to a certain extent. But great grandparents, I don't think that how many of us we have seen our great grandparents. Then let us say great grandparents we have seen, but great grandparents we have not seen. Then you tell, they are not there at all. They were not there. No, we cannot deny that. We cannot deny their presence, because very fact that we are the linga for their existence. We are the linga. Just 1 second. Okay. Etat anumeyam. Etat anumeyam. Just let me. Alakshanam, alingam, iti, etat ananumeyam, not anumeyam. Ananumeyam. Ananumeyam means it cannot be inferred. Atma cannot be inferred. Atayeva achintyam. Since it cannot be inferred, for inference we need the senses. Whatever, let us say we have seen the fire in one time through our eyes, then in a later time, though we are not able to see the fire, by seeing the smoke, we can infer that there is a presence of fire. That is an inference. But if it is, mind can only think of that which are the objects for the senses. If something is not the object for the senses, the mind cannot think of that. Since by telling adrishtam and telling agraham, organs of action and organs of perception, they are denied. So it is achintyam, then mind cannot think of that. Achintyam. Ata eva abhyapadeshyam. Since it cannot be thought of, we cannot describe it, because to describe one can think of that which is perceived through sense organ. Since it is adrishtam, avyavaharyam, agrahyam, then alakshanam, achintyam, so there it is abhyapadeshyam. It cannot be described by using the words. It cannot describe the words. And up to that we have finished last time. The next word is ekatma pratyaya saram. What the meaning Bhavan Shankaracharya is giving? Jagradadi sthanesu ekah ayam atma iti abhyavichari. Ekatma pratyaya means ekatma means one atma. Ekatma. Pratyaya means thoughts. Saram, he is giving the saram meaning later. We'll see that one. Let me not tell now. Ekatma pratyaya saram. That means that one atma, that means one self is there, that entity who was there in the waking state. Same entity has become the dreamer in the dream state, has become the deep sleeper in the deep sleep state. This is called Eka Atma. And this thought of this, previously I was awake, now suddenly I started dreaming, and now I don't know anything. That we tell when you get up. That means same Atma is present. That is called Eka Atma. And this thought is maintained that I was present in the waking state, and same entity is there in the dream state, same entity there in the deep sleep state. It is called Pratyaya. Pratyaya means thought. The thought that I was in the waking state, I am in the dream state, I am in the deep sleep state, now I am awake. This is called Ekatma Pratyaya. Then what is the meaning of Sara? He is giving. Ekatma Pratyaya, Jagradadi Sthanesu, Eka Ayam Atma. Eka Ayam Atma. That one Atma, one self is in all the three states. Of Bevichari, he doesn't do the crazy things. Of Bevichari, it is all the time remains same. It maintains its dignity. It maintains its originality. It doesn't change. Of Bevichari. Yaha Pratyaya means that thought which tells that I was in the waking state, I was in the dream state, I was in the deep sleep state without any bevichara. Yaha Pratyaya, that thought, Tena Anusaraniyam. Here Saram Pratyaya. Saram means, Saram is the meaning. To find the meaning of Sara, one Shankaracharya has added the Pratyaya Anu. It is Anusaraniyam. Sara means Anusaraniyam. Anusaraniyam means it has to be followed. Anusarana. It has to be followed. It has to be tracked. Which has to be tracked? The Turiya has to be tracked. Turiya has to be tracked by what? By the Pratyaya, by the thought. What is that thought? That I was in the waking state, I was in the dream state, I was in the deep sleep state. What it means, this is called Nityata of the Atma. Atma was in all the three states, in the same Atma. This is called a Nityata of the Atma. The existence of the Atma can be proved only by the Nityata of the Atma. There is no other way of proving. The Nityata of the Atma is the pramana for the existence of the Turiya, of the self. I cannot deny my own absence at any time. I can deny the absence of all other things, what I have, what I use, what I know, what I don't know. But I cannot deny my own existence. Suppose I tell you, no, do you exist? No, I don't exist. I cannot tell. Because to tell that, I am to exist. So that itself is the proof. Suppose somebody will tell, how will know that there is a self? This is a proof. Not that somebody will tell that, okay, scripture will tell there is a self, or the guru will tell there is a self. Our own experience.
So Swamiji, that's what we have defined Vivek Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma.
Yes.
Yatiriktam Sarvam Anityam.
Good.
So that's what it is. Okay.
Then what is the next one? Next slide.
I am eva Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha.
Good. Always this thing should come. Whatever we have read, we should be able to relate to. That is good. That means we are reflecting. We are able to relate to that. Yes. I am very happy that you brought that one. Yes. This Nityata, what is the proof for Atma? No other, it is not that everybody will tell, okay, Hanji, Atma is there, that's why Atma is. No. The proof of the Atma, the existence of Atma is its Nityata. That is Anusaraniyam. We have to just track this thought. Like suppose a tiger, we have to track. How we track? We will see the footprints, where the footprints are there. Then we'll track that tiger. Then at the end, we'll see that the tiger is just sitting near us. It is just waiting to jump on us. We tracked. Now we are in front of the tiger. Here also, how we track the Atma? By this thought, this pratyaya that I am that Atma. And that Atma, which is of the Vichari. This thought is this way we have to prove the existence of Atma. There is no other way. In other words, Guru will tell, there is Atma, and you are that Atma. No. It is our own experience tell. And our own experience will never be wrong. If somebody has experienced, we can tell that I think he is telling you something. He is just bluffing. But I cannot bluff my own experience. I cannot go against my own experience. But it's a big question. Where is Atma? Where is Atma? That means I am denying myself. I don't know, I don't exist. It is that laughable thing.
So that's what Swamiji we are chanting in Vivek Chudamani. Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmane.
Yes. That always think that yes.
Same thought, the same
yes,
thought.
Same thought. Yes, exactly. This is that yaha pratyaha, that thought has to be maintained in Saraniyam. Athaeva, and another meaning he is giving, the one meaning of ekatma pratyasara is that thought which has to be followed, that I am that one Atma which is abhyabhichari. This is one meaning of ekatma pratyasaram. Another meaning he is giving, actually they both look like same. Athaeva eka atma pratyaya saram is pramanam yasya turyasya adhigame tat turyam ekatma pratyasaram. He is giving another meaning. Ekatma pratyaya, one single expression of the self. Expression of one single self. Whether waking state, dream state, or deep sleep state, they are all the expressions of the same Turiya. And that itself is the pramana for the oneself. That self is expressing as waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. That is the proof for the existence of the Turiya, of the self. That is also another meaning of pratyasara. They are both are same. It looks like both are same. Yasya turyasya adhigame tat turyam ekatma pratyasara. Yasya turyasya adhigame. The moment one realizes understands the Turiya, then one will understand that same Turiya was the waker, was the dreamer, was the deep sleeper. That is the second meaning of ekatma pratyasara. And where it is told in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Atma iti eva upasita. Atma, when you are doing the worship only the Atma, because there is nothing other than Atma. That means think of Atma, contemplate an Atma, meditate on Atma, abide in Atma. Atma eva. We may be doing different worship of Lord Ganeshji, then Kartik Bhagavan, then Mother Durga. Maybe do worshipping different things. But main thing is, at the end, if that has to be kept in mind that this is the worship of the self. It doesn't matter what we are worshipping. Atma iti eva upasita. That means do the upasana of the Atma, because Atma alone is there. And after that, what is the portion? What is written in the book?
Prapanchopashamanam.
Prapanchopasham Santam Shivam.
Prapanchopashamanam.
Okay. Prapancha upasamam. Not samanam.
Upasamam.
Upasamam, yes. Antahpragya Twadi अंतःप्रज्ञत्वादि स्थानि धर्म प्रतिषेधः कृतः प्रपंचो समम इति जाग्रत आदि स्थान धर्म अभाव उच्यते. स्थान dharma means in a particular place. In a particular place, one will behave in a particular way. Like when we are at home, we have to do a particular kind of duty. That is sthana dharma. But when you are in the office, if you do the same thing, like at home, how we are doing the laundry and we do the dishes. Suppose I'll tell in the office also, I'll buy a dishwasher and then I'll do there also. That is not a sthana dharma. There, sit in front of the computer. Here, don't sit in front of the stay near the laundry and all those things. Sthana dharma. Everybody has a sthana dharma. Though no person is doing the same work all the time. It is not possible. Not possible. Even in our home also, in the kitchen we cook, but in the puja room we do worship. In the garage, we'll do some cleaning or some maintenance work we'll do. This is called sthana dharma. Antaprajnatwadi sthana dharma pratiseda kritah. Now the pratiseda means the denial, the negation. Negation of antaprajna. That means it is na antaprajna na bahisprajna, how it was told. Antaprajna is denied. Antaprajnatwadi, these are sthana dharma. These are the particular kind of activity in a particular time. Who is antaprajna? In whose definition we have read antaprajna? Who is antaprajna?
Tejas.
Tejas. Tejas is the antaprajna, isn't it? And at that time, Tejas is a particular role, particular activity. What is the activity? Dreaming. Remember, dream in Mandukya Upanishad, dream is not only when we go to sleep and we have eaten some idli and dosa, then we go to sleep and they are dreaming, oh, the idlis are so nice. That is not only dream. Dream is manasika vyapara. Whenever something is going through the mind, that is called dream state. Suppose you are telling what is happening at home now. I don't know. I am sitting in the office. I don't know what the children are doing. And she told to buy a TV and I bought the TV. And they must be watching TV. And one is thinking, one is sitting in the office, one is thinking this way. Then one is dreaming.
Daydreaming.
Yeah.
Daydreaming.
Daydreaming, afternoon dreaming or sleep dreaming or night dreaming, it is all dream only. Daydream, of course, we use the word in a different sense, that it is hallucinating or something. Antaprajnatva adi sthani dharma pratiseda kritah. That means it is not the particular duty. When we are telling that it is antaprajna na bahisprajna, even not only we are denying them, even we are denying their activity too. Hani dharma. That means we may be their activity. Whatever they may not be, they may be false, but what they are doing, that is very meaningful. No, like how we tell that, I am doing so much of, I am doing puja, I am doing japa, and you go, wow, really very nice things, divine things that one is doing. No, that is not that. That chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, chanting Hanuman, that is not the Atma. That doesn't an indicator that one is abiding in oneself. No. Antaprajnatwadi sthani dharma pratiseda kritah.
So Swamiji, when I say I'm thinking, it's also dreaming then?
Yeah. That's what you're doing. Any manasya, whenever anything is done with the mind, that is dream. dream is not limited to that when you go to sleep and then for some time then you will be telling something and okay, oh, I kicked the ball. And if you do, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, it is a dream. Or bad
So,
dream or good dream.
So that means, Swamiji, Jagrut Avastha and Swapna Avastha, no difference.
No difference. But in Jagrat Avastha, in Tattva we read that one. What is Jagrat Avastha? Jagrat Avastha Ka. There you have written, when the sense organs are contacting the sense objects, that is called Jagrat Avastha.
Okay.
That thing is called Jagrat. And beyond that, anything is not Jagrat.
Oh, this is really amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is told in Tattva. So
Yes.
that means how many hours we are dreaming and how many hours are awake, just think of. When we are doing something, actually, all of us are only dreaming. That dream is, and we are telling that waking state. Dream and waking state both have, it is a big dream. Here it will be told that waking state and dream state only one state. It is. There are two states.
Swamiji like eating laddu without eating laddu in the mind. That's dream.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm dreaming. Think of eating laddu, oh, it's very sweet, but you're not eating it. You think in the mind.
Immediately. That is not waking. So we are in the dream state now.
Swamiji, in the seat of meditation, when I start, mind drifts away, that is a vyabhichara. If I'm thinking I am the self, if the thought is perfectly attuned with the self, other than that, anything thought comes to my mind.
Atma no vyabhicharati. Atma don't vyabhichara. I cannot tell that I am doing
No, yeah. When I'm drifting away from, when I'm thinking that I am the...
We cannot. Atma cannot drift.
not Atma. I'm the seat of meditation when I'm saying I am the self alone.
You tell me who is doing the vyabhichara at that time? Who is vyabhicharati?
No, there is no vyabhichara. If the mind drifts, when I completely focus the mind, and if the mind drifts away from that.
That is the Vishwa is drifting, not the Atma.
Right.
Jiva.
But even think of Vishwa is a vyabhichara.
Vishwa is thinking of.
Yeah.
That is the Vishwa.
Yeah. So I am already out of myself.
Yeah. Yes. Atma will not vyabhichara. Once not tell, I think I'm vyabhichara. I cannot vyabhichara. That is the Vishwa. And that is told.
Isn't it?
Vyabhicharati.
Swamiji, isn't it Tejas, which is the vyabhichara in that case then?
Yeah, suppose I'm holding the mala and until now I'm not able to then this Vishwa is vyabhicharati. And suppose I'm contemplating, that is the Tejas is vyabhicharati.
Tejas.
Yes.
Thanks.
Prapancha upasamam iti. Prapancha upasamam. Then he is giving the meaning of prapancha upasamam. Prapancha upasamam iti. Jagradadi sthana dharma abhavat uchyate. That means this Turiya, the meaning of prapancha upasamam. Prapancha means everything happens in terms of five. Like the Panchakosas are there. Then the five elements are there. Whatever happens, the five elements, everything is prapancha. The combination, permutation, combination of the five elements, and those are the gross body, subtle body, causal body. Everything is depending on the five elements. Sattva, rajas, tamas, all are included. The prapancha. Prapancha means the permutations and combinations of the five. That's the prapancha. And this prapancha is upasama. In the Turiya, that is upasama. That is, the prapancha is completely annihilated, is not present. Jagrat adi sthana dharma abhavacha. That is Jagrasthana, Swapnasthana, and Susupti sthana, they are all absent. There is no sthana there.
So, Swami, what is the meaning of upashama? Absent?
Cessation.
That's yes, sir. Okay.
No, this is Upasana. Suppose somebody has got lot of fever, then we give one Tylenol, fever goes away. That means that fever is Upasana. Atayeva Santam. Since there is complete Upasana of all the Prapancha, then it is Shantam. That's why its Atma is Shantam. Shantam means, for us, Shantam means, oh, don't tell anything. Oh, he is such a, Swamiji, my husband is such a quiet person. He is not quiet. He is forced to be quiet. He's so much beaten that he has no energy to express his work. That is called Prapancha, not in that sense. Atayva Santam. Santam means where this the 5 elements are not showing their effect at all, completely absent. The 5 elements, from that how the Sthula Sarira is made, Sukshma Sarira is made, Karana Sarira is made, their activities, all these things are not there in the Turiya, Prapancha Upasama. Atayva Santam. Then Avikriyam. Santam means there is no activity. Naham iti karomiti yuktaha manyeta tattvavit. The Bhagavad Gita it is told, naham karomi iti. I am not doing anything. Once we are avoiding that, once we understand that we are the Turiya, we will not allow this thought at all that I am doing. You know how many days, I don't know how many days I will go on doing. This child is not increasing at all. I put every day 1 gallon of this milk I give, still is not growing at all. You are growing. I don't know how many days I have to take care. The child is growing, oh, will feel very happy because my work is going to end one day. You will go to college, then I can talk with my friend. No, I'm not able to talk at all, no time. No, there is no avikriyam that I am not doing anything. When Pujya Gurudev was asked by the devotees that Pujya Gurudev has done such a big mission and who will take care, I have not done anything. And I think I was telling the story, all the gopis, one day they want to play the Rasa Leela. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna has to come. But he came a little late. Then the gopis were telling that, okay, how can you make late? We are waiting for you. And they started grumbling from the beginning. Then Lord Krishna told us, you know, I was taking care of my guru. That's why it got late. Oh, you have a guru? We thought that you are the Jagat Guru. You have another guru. Who is your guru? Then he told that Durbasa is my guru. Who Durbasa is your guru? That means there is somebody who is greater than you. We want to serve him. So that will get punya. And why you have to dance with you all the time? And we want to do some punya. So we want to serve him. Oh, go, serve him. Then all the gopis, they went, they cooked different items, everything. Somebody made halwa, somebody made everything milk. Different items they made. And they packed everything, they put on their head and they want to go. And when they went, the Yamuna river is flooded. They cannot go, they cannot cross. And they told, oh Krishna, we cannot go. You told that you have to see your guru so that we'll get a lot of punya, but we cannot go. Now tell to the Yamuna river, if Krishna is Avala Brahmachari, then please give us the way. Tell that to the Yamuna river. And all the gopis, they are looking towards each other. See, 36, how many wives he had? That many wives he has. And he is telling that he is Brahmachari. They are looking towards each other. See what a lie in the daytime. He is looking to our eyes and telling a lie. But anyhow, they want to serve Durbasa Rishi. and they have no other way because they cannot go. All these things will be spoiled, whatever they have cooked. They went to the Yamuna river and told that, oh Yamuna river, if Krishna is a brahmachari, then please give us the way. Immediately the Yamuna river gave the way. And these gopis, they went other side. What is this going on? They couldn't understand anything. Then the other side, Durvasarsi is there. And he doesn't eat anything. He is always Brahmalina. But these gopis, they said, please take, please take. And once he saw that these people are really want to eat, he started eating. And he finished everything. There is not a single atom of the cheese or butter is left in the, all the, there are 100 gopis they had gone. There is not everything yet. And all the gopis, they said that some prasad at least he will leave. He's such a greedy and hungry person. He has never eaten in his life yet. All our things. If we take to the, when we are taking to the temple, all the prasad, if Lord will take, do you think that will beat him? Will beat him left and right? Because now there's nothing. I brought everything here, and at home we will starve. Thank God he doesn't take anything, and we are happy with that kind of thing. Prasad, we can make prasad. Then, but now they have to come back because they are hungry. They have not eaten anything. They have to come back. When they are coming, again Yamuna river is flooded. And they told to the see, we cannot go now. And we have got our children are there, families there to take care, and we have to eat something. They told, okay, tell the Yamuna river, if Durvasarsi has not eaten anything, then give the way. they told that if the guru is a greater cheat than the disciple. No doubt they are thinking that way. Because they are simple-minded people. They are not into this jnana and other things. So, and they told to the Yamuna river, and you will not believe, the Yamuna river parted. You have to give the way. They are stunned to hear all these things. So that means a person who is avoiding the self doesn't have the doership at all. No doership. Like I have eaten, I have not eaten, I have done, I have not done. If I have not done, guilty. If I have done, then I am proud. This kind of problem a realized person doesn't have. What is done, what is not done, it is, oh, I should have done, I should have joined the Sandipani Ashram. Swamiji, I was thinking that way, everybody was telling that join the Brahmachari course, join the Brahmachari course, but I didn't do. Now Swamiji, I repent. What we do, we repent. What we don't do, we feel guilty. Doership. There is no doership. Akriyam, that is called akriyam. Then next word is Shivam, and all that we'll see next time. Oh, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.